Today, like probably averaging around 25K months right now. The goal is 100K months. I just say never give up. Thanks to that tip that you gave, then that helped a lot. Thanks to Niels is a game changer, right? It's not the cheapest one-to-one, but you do get the results.
Hey, welcome to this call today. Thanks for joining us, Andy.
Pleasure.
So today, I just want to ask you some questions about your experience with face education, your experience with YouTube in general. I think you have an inspiring story that people can learn a lot from. So let's hope people get some value from this. Can you first talk a bit more about yourself, who you are, what you're doing
Before or after?
right now?
Right now, so I came back from a work session / meetup with the Netherlands boys in Bali, and it was only like a 11-day trip, but that fully changed my life. And the reason why I was able to go out there in the first place and even meet these people was because of Niels. And I couldn't be able to go there in the first place without obviously a income from YouTube, right? Because yes, you can make a lot of money working for someone else, but you don't have the freedom and the location freedom, the time freedom to actually work from wherever you want as well. So that is a big thing that has really changed my life for real, because if not, then I would still be working a job right now. So totally, it's like it's a whole different once you realize that there are people doing this like Niels and other students from him, then it is only a matter of time if you lock in.
Really
But
cool.
it's definitely something you have to experience in this lifetime. Life is too short to just work for someone else and really let them dictate how you live your life, basically, because you still have to, even if it's you start at 9 o'clock in the morning for a shift for work, you still have to sleep by a certain time, right, to get enough sleep. So they basically dictate when you sleep, when you wake up, and you don't have the flexibility to say, okay, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, you know what I'm saying? So that's a big thing.
Yeah,
For sure.
cool. And you're like, we're talking a bit about it, but what were you actually doing before joining the coaching program?
Right. So I was working in a factory job and I was building like car parts, like turbos that makes cars go faster. But basically they have an SOP for the system too. So it does get very repetitive with what you have to do. And so I was doing that maybe 40 to 50 hours a week because I was doing overtime just to fund YouTube and the channel, the team. And yeah, so it was not fun at all. But that was my life, like 5 days, 6 days a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember vividly. And yeah, what motivated you actually to explore like YouTube? Did you have any prior experience with businesses or?
Right. So I did have experience with e-commerce and drop shipping, along with lots of people who start online business because they will start to find a way out of a job and they'll type in, okay, how do I actually make money online? You know what I'm saying? And from there, there'll be a bunch of different business models. There isn't one better than the other, but for me personally, I did like the sound of YouTube because coming from the e-commerce world, 30% profit margins is like unheard of almost. So coming into YouTube with like 70 to like 99% margins with what I'm doing right now, thanks to Niels, is a game changer, right? So that is a big thing for sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did you remember actually like for joining the program, did you have any fears or doubt about the program or the business model itself?
Well, first off, as you endeavor into any business model, there will be, you'll first start off in the point of just optimize, what's it called? You're just very optimistic because it's like you're blind to what actually it takes to succeed with that business model. And once you keep pushing, then you realize there's a value of despair, right? Because it's like, okay, well, does it actually work? I've been putting videos out, they've been getting no views, but then it could be like the fourth channel has failed or the fifth channel has failed. But once you have a proven system and you get someone to teach you about it, then it really is pretty much like guaranteed, right? As long as you stick on the track, then you're good. So
Yeah, I agree. What actually convinced you to take the leap, to join the program, to do YouTube?
for like your reputation on X, and especially I think that's how I found you. Through other people as well, they said that your coaching was very helpful. So from there, I took the leap, right? It's not like the cheapest course or one-to-one, but you do get what you pay for, right? You can pay for maybe $1,000 one-to-one, but it won't be as in-depth, you know what I'm saying, compared to someone that's obviously charging a high price because they have more experience and they have more skin in the game. So there is a price you have to pay. There is a reason why this certain information is on YouTube. And so you do have to pay to get in the right circles. So yeah, there were some doubts though. It was a lot of money. I still had to work, I think 6 weeks just to pay it down. But Niels did give me a payment plan, and we worked through it together. He saw the drive that I had, so he really wanted me to succeed. So we went through with the payment plan. So there's always ways around it if you're hungry for it, right? So
exactly. So then we were inside the program, right? Do you remember what were the biggest like challenges you faced in that first month, 2 months?
Definitely remember that like it was yesterday. So one of them was definitely like the costs. So for the videos itself, it is very easy to burn cash when you're testing a niche, but Niels does have certain frameworks so that you can know what to look out for, how many videos to post before moving on, and also, yeah, just to keep costs very low. So you can test multiple niches without breaking the bank. It's more like also like of a volume game as well with quality. So maybe out of like 3 or 4 niches, not all of them would work, but the ideal is 1 niche would work out of the 3 that you test or 4 that you test. Yeah, it definitely is much cheaper compared to what I was doing before, where I was testing like 30 or 40, even 50 videos in the niche. And that's when it's very easy to burn cash. Thanks to that tip that you gave, then that helped a lot.
So you overcame those challenges by just uploading less videos, testing niches faster, right?
Definitely. I was stuck on niches way too long. I was testing for about, I'd say like 2 to 4 months sometimes. So if let's do the math. So if you're testing 3 or 4 niches with your own path, then it could take roughly maybe even 8 months, right? Because it takes maybe 2 months, if not more, to test 1 niche. But with Neil's strategy inside his one-to-one, there are ways to speed that process up where you could test multiple niches within a couple of months. So speed is key for sure. Yeah.
So the program helped you by just test niches faster with less videos.
Definitely. Yeah. So also knowing when to let go of a niche and when to keep going, when to double down. So that's a big thing that you don't really know just from watching free YouTube videos online, right? So
do you have like any other specific aspects of the coaching that you find most valuable?
Yeah, definitely it was the one-to-one calls as well, because along with the group coaching, because the thing is I wasn't able to show up for a lot of them because of the time zone difference, but I did make the effort to like show up, wake up even like 4 a.m. my time, like days before work, you know, like a couple hours before work, so that I could make these calls. But when I was inside these group calls, people were going through the same journey as well, and it's very motivating to see people get results in the same program, because it comes back to belief, right? It's like the first level of belief is like seeing someone online doing it. The second level is like seeing someone getting results with their mentor that are given the same strategies, right? So, and then the third level obviously is achieving it yourself. But it really brought me to the second level because there are proven people in your program making like good money with your same strategies, right? So that did give me a level of belief, and that belief really did push me to keep going for sure. Like during the hard times, during the days with 0 views, you post 10 videos, 0 views, or maybe 1 view. It's very easy to get demotivated and doubt the process. But Niels does come in, he checks you, makes sure that you're good. He cares about your channels like it is his own, and I can stand behind that for sure.
What would you say, like how much time and effort did you actually dedicate to the program each week? Quite a lot, right?
Yeah, quite a lot. So I was going through the past call recordings a lot, especially, and as well as going through the course that Niels has recorded as well, along with a PDF format as well. I think PDF, Google Doc, I think. Yeah. So there's a lot of content to go through in this one-to-one. So you will be busy. So if you really do have that hunger, then Niels will be there to supply and help you with that. So.
And how, like coming back to your results, because I think they're like very inspiring for people watching this. How long did it actually take you to start seeing those significant results?
Right. So I'd say it took about maybe, I think 5 months into the program, maybe 4 months actually. It was time wasn't really a thing. It was just a lot of, yeah, I'd say 4 or 5 months. And from there, it really took off because of just knowing the right information and just finding the right niches, right? So either sometimes if you're not getting results, it's either because it's not the right niche, or if you have the right skills, then yeah, it's the wrong niche, right? So the thing is you have to find the right niche that align with your skill sets, and until that happens, that's when your revenue will explode. But yeah, so I'd say yeah, 4 or 5 months.
Cool. And how does it look like today?
Today, like probably averaging around 25K months right now. On
That's
track for
sick.
that this month as well. Feels pretty surreal to say, but at the same time, it's not really surprising, because if you just follow like a proven system and you actually put the work in, then anything is truly doable for sure. So
Yeah.
it's good though. It's good though. I'm thinking of retiring my mom this year, but I have to make sure that it's stable, run up more channels, and also, yeah, run up the revenue more. So that is definitely a goal for this year. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a goal for sure.
What would you say? Because I think it's like, again, it's inspiring. What would you say for people that are watching is one key factor, if you have to name one key factor that helped you bring to that like 16K, 20K months?
Right. So I definitely say like persistence in knowledge, persistence in execution, persistence, just posting without getting results and just getting punched in the face every day. It's just a marathon, you know what I'm saying? It's not really a race if you think about it. Yes, yes, you need some urgency that you need to chase after these goals, but also you need some faith that you are taking the right steps. And so people expect too many results from the little actions that they take, right? So I'd say it's just a consistency of learning and action. That's pretty much it.
So that's how you reach those results. How did your life actually change through these results?
Right. Well, I was able to like attend an event in Bali and just be around so many inspiring individuals that talk about big numbers like it's nothing. And that really does open your world view. Especially like now, like traveling to any country, like it for the most part, it's like fly back to Bali if I want to, if my girlfriend lets me. Like you still have to be frugal, but you don't have to worry about the money aspect as much. But definitely one thing for me that was motivating me a lot was just traveling and taking care of my family. And so I do recommend, if you have a good like why, then you can do anything, right? You can conquer any how. Like, so I'd say location freedom, time freedom is a big thing. Being able to like sleep in and not wake up by alarm, that's a massive thing as well. Yeah, that's a big game changer.
Nice. I recognize the alarm thing. I think it's underestimated.
Yeah, exactly. Like the alarm would go off for me when I was working a job. It would be like 4 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes it's raining. Probably not as much rain as Netherlands, but it would be cold. So you have to wake up and catch the bus to work if you don't have a car, which is what I did, right? I was traveling 3 hours a day, just there and back for work. And I was still on the buses. I was still learning about YouTube. I was checking with my team, making sure the production was going forward. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy just to think about, because I literally remember hopping in the call with Niels just before I bought the program. My mom was like, "You shouldn't do it because it's like a lot of money," but um, you have to take the risk, right? You have to take the risk with the right people. Obviously, do your own research, but Niels has the results to back it up from his students. If you know that they are legit and you do want the results that bad, then you must take the action. You must take the leap, right? So um, I'm glad that I took that leap and didn't listen, but yeah. I always think back to that moment, man. That's crazy.
Really cool. What would you say is your next goal? Right now, 20K, 25K, what would you say is your next goal? And are you confident that you're gonna reach that goal?
Well, like for now, Q4, just a bit of background, I'm running AI channels 100%. I have like one branded channel that I'm doing with another business partner actually in this program as well. For Q4, the goal is 100K months, because with AI channels, you can scale with volume. So especially with the RPM around like $18 to 24, for these hour-long videos, then you only need like 6 million views a month. Then that's like 100,000 a month. So the goal is 100K a month for Q4. And then for now, it'd definitely be scaling up more channels. And so I'd say a good like 50K, couple months, but I'd say it's pretty doable. It's just knowing the right systems, but that is the goal.
And then we're talking like 99% profit, right?
Exactly. Like maybe 96, 97 now with hiring VAs, but it is still pretty high compared to e-commerce or other business models that I can think of.
People are watching this and they think, okay, I want to start YouTube, I want to do this. What would you say if they're afraid like they don't have enough time to commit to the program?
I'd say if you really wanted that bad, you would make time, right? First off, okay? So if you really wanted that bad, you make time for it. And so once you do make that time for it, then you just go dedicate yourself to it, take that risk, because I promise you on the other side of risk, it becomes a massive reward, right? A massive, massive reward. But most people are scared to take that first leap, right? And I don't blame you. It's a lot. It's not the cheapest one-to-one, but you do get the results that it does speed up the process, right? So you can learn it by yourself. You can watch free YouTube videos online, but there's a reason why some information is gatekept, right? So yeah, I'd say if I could take the same decision again, then I would definitely 100% take it in another 100 lifetimes. I would take the same videos.
Yeah, you mentioned it isn't cheap. Like, what would you say if people indeed like they're unsure about that financial part?
You gotta make sure that like you're hungry for it, and like almost as if like you can't live without it, right? And then Niels can see that inside you, and there will be other payment options as well, right? As long as you're very serious, right? If you're 50 in, 50 out, and you're like unsure, then why would a mentor even give you the option to do a payment plan, right? So I'd say that.
And then if they think, okay, what if I'm gonna fail? What if I'm not seeing any results?
Yeah, great question. So it's a very common thing to doubt the process. It's very common. I've doubted the process as well in the process. But most of the time you just gotta keep taking the action no matter how you feel. And truly that's what it comes down to, right? You can't just make actions based on how you feel in that moment, or else there are people who will take the same actions that regardless of how they feel, right? So you will be beaten by them. Yeah, so I'd just say just keep moving regardless of doubt. I know it's easier said than done. I'm an example of just showing that if you just take the action no matter what, then you get the right information from Niels, then there's only a matter of time before you start seeing results. Even if it's not in the first month, there's a small percentage that actually happens. Like you hit 10K a month in the first month, regardless of how good the mentor is, right? So I'd say give yourself some breathing room as well. So maybe a couple months, but as long as you never give up, as cliche as it sounds, it will be hit.
I really like one last question. Did you actually consider this program stand out compared to other options you might have considered?
Right. So I'd say, not naming any other names, but there are other programs out there where if you pay for the mentorship, they will give you like they won't give you as much like personalized touch, right? So I'd say just seeing people getting results in the same, you can verify that. You can talk to the people who are actually getting results in this program, right? A lot of mentors will just won't show you the results, and you can't even talk to people who are getting results. But I know for a fact that I've talked to a couple of people who've gotten results from you, obviously, and so that does like reconfirm it's just on my side, right? So it's like, okay, well, I'm doing something wrong, but if I just keep taking the right actions over a right amount of time, then results will show for sure. So I just say never give up and just keep taking those steps, right? Because every video you post could be the one that pops off, right? So having that thought in your mind really does help. It's like the cliche miner example where there's like two miners. The top miner is mining. It's like 1 inch off from like striking diamond, but he just walks away sad, right? And the one below is on the same journey, but he's like very eager. He keeps on going and he's gonna hit it. So that's one example that I always refer back to as well when I'm in doubt, at least.
Really cool. What would you like, last question? What would be your number one advice to people watching this, starting out with YouTube, maybe more experience, not getting results, do get some results? What's your number one advice?
Number one advice would be, let's see, so take more action, right? Just more execution. People think, yeah, people really do underestimate how much action needs to be taken. And so I'd say if you can get those videos out ASAP without sacrificing quality, well, then you can test more niches quicker. And the sooner that you test more niches, you learn certain things to look out for, right? So maybe you test a niche, doesn't work, then you pick that up and you're like, okay, this didn't work because of this reason. And so eventually you build like intuition with YouTube so that you know ahead of time almost, so that you have more data to come to a better conclusion. So you're like, okay, well, this niche has good potential because of this reason and this reason. And there could be more upsides in this reason, more downsides in this niche. So then I'd say you keep finding niches. But then if you know how to filter niches, for example, right? So there's multiple ways to do it, but it all comes back from action. It all comes back from how much data you can get so you can make the best informed decision, right? So then people say, oh, YouTube's luck, but volume does negate luck eventually. So you take the right amount of actions, the right amount. Most people who are successful in this business have actually failed more times than most people even tried, right? So I'd say a lot of action on the right information from Niels, and you're solid. You're good.
Thanks a lot. I think really helpful for people watching this. Thanks a lot again for taking your time.
For sure. No, I appreciate you so much for making this one-to-one, and thank you so much for the blessings that you have given to other people to experience the same results. And thank you again, man.